All right, if this video came across your feed, I have a message for you, and it is around what version of you is currently emerging. So let's see what the cards have to say and how we can get you there. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is your old self, what current transition you're currently in, what your strengths are, what your future self looks like, what advice I have, and what your next major milestone is. Okay, so you are coming out of a phase of disorganization. So I think you've been juggling a lot recently, and you kind of recognize that this wasn't working. So you're really coming into a good spot of multitasking. You do have you have different priorities, but you're making decisions, making choices. You're kind of weighing up what's important, what's not. So you're in a really good spot. You're very grounded. It might kind of be related to work, this decision, or this where you were not drowning before, but you weren't on top of it, or as on top of it as you wanted to be. And you were kind of, as a result of what you were doing, you were getting into a spot where you had to make a decision around something, and you didn't have all the information that you needed in order to make this decision. So you're kind of between a rock and a hard place, and you're like, okay, I need to get better about being organized, staying on top of what I need to stay on top of, because I don't know which way to go right now because of where I've been. So that's something that I think you're currently in. So you feel like you can't, you might feel stuck, like you can't make this difficult decision. But to me, this is reading like it's all in your mind. I feel like you're coming from a spot where you're a lot better off than you were. So you're transitioning out of it. It might not feel good right now, but you will be able to kind of see the path forward because of what you've been working on. I'm getting actually a surprising amount of love energy in this reading, even though this is supposed to be like what version of you is emerging. I think that you just started, or you will be starting soon. I think it's already started. There's a really powerful relationship that you're in right now. It's a loving relationship. You feel really, it's very romantic. You feel so close. Things are going really, really well for you. You just click with this person. You both are just really attracted to each other. And for some reason, this is scaring you. I don't know if you're just uncomfortable with the concept of someone knowing you, and you're scared of kind of breaking up, or you're scared of being separated from this person, or whatever it is. But anything worth it in life is, you get kind of scared that you're going to lose it. So it's an incredibly close bond. I wouldn't be afraid of it, and I'll tell you why in a couple minutes. You have a really strong inner sense of when you need to move on. So I think your prior relationship or relationships, you were very unfulfilled in, and you had to walk away from them, and you kind of walked away into the unknown. And I think you're nervous that you might have to do that again, but you don't want to because you're feeling so great. And that's being able to have that kind of self-awareness and perception is a real superpower. Like, you'd be surprised how many people get stuck, or they're comfortable and they don't want to leave. You are totally comfortable walking away from a situation that is no longer fulfilling to you, and kind of heading off into the unknown. You're very, very brave. So I just want to make sure you know that this is a strength. Not everybody has this, and this is something you just have to be aware of. In terms of your future self, there's a lot of energy around you in regards to not seeing. So what I mean by that is, I don't know if it's necessarily like a choice, like you're choosing not to see what's around you. Again, I think this work situation and kind of coming out of it, this might not necessarily have been your choice. I mean, I guess it's a result of your actions. You know, you're doing too many things and a little all over the place, so you kind of had to get your way out of it. But in terms of when you're looking towards your future self, and you know, I feel like you're a person, maybe you've got a little bit of anxiety. You might spiral a little bit thinking that you might have like negative thoughts, or you're kind of like stuck in your head sometimes, and you feel like you're helpless, or like, I don't want to say you're playing the victim, but like there's an element of you, you know, it is very much like a self-imposed prison. And like, when I'm thinking about you and your future, I just want you to be cognizant of it and realize that you can come out of it. You just have to look around. And what I mean by that is talking about it sounds so easy, but you know, you have this great relationship. Talk to your partner about what's bothering you. They can kind of tell you that, they can kind of snap you out of these negative thoughts that you're having, because they're like, okay, I know you're worried about this, you're concerned about this. You don't have to be, because XYZ. And you seem to forget the strengths that you have. This person can remind you of those strengths. So this is more like a caution to like, don't be trapped in this negative thought cycle. You have so much awesome stuff kind of going for you that I don't want you to think that, you know, because of this tendency you might have to have these negative thoughts and limiting thoughts, that you have to be stuck inside this cycle. In terms of advice, again, a visibility thing. Though it might be tough, I am acknowledging that it's tough for you to see the good sometimes, and to see the good around you, because I'm seeing that the challenge with visibility. But advice I have for you is, really, you got to trust your intuition, because even though you can't see it, your gut is telling you what you need to hear, and you need to listen to your gut over kind of what your anxiety is telling you. So if you want to be in the best possible place, you need to be able to kind of face your fears, and, you know, sit in them, acknowledge them, you know, like say, I'm nervous about all these things that could happen. But there's so much more than what you can catastrophize, right? Trust your intuition. When something feels off, then it's off, and you can kind of handle it. But if things feel good, trust that too, you know? And I think you know that this is a really good relationship, and it doesn't show any red flags that you might have to leave, which you totally can, by the way. Like, you have the capability, you've done it before. So having that, hopefully you can take that advice of, you know, I can trust myself. I know what's best for myself, and if I need to get out of something, I can, and I can figure it out, because you're doing it. You've done it before. Your next major milestone, I don't want to promise a wedding. I'm seeing an engagement. So even if this is super early, like you've just started this relationship, or if you're like 3 or 4 years in, you're getting engaged. That's just it. I don't know if you're planning an engagement or if you're getting proposed to, but that's your next. if it's not engagement, you guys are going to decide to get married, which is a big deal. And congratulations. That's exciting. That's awesome. And it's a great match, and I'm feeling really good about it. So I hope you do too. I like to leave every reading with a rose, and just the energy of this whole reading for you is the pioneer. So I'll just say that in all of these, you know, where you've been, where you're going, your fears, your future, I want you to be really brave about it. I want you to take off those blindfolds, look around you, be present, trust your intuition, and, you know, don't be afraid to kind of head out into the unknown, because you've done it before. You're confident in it. I want you to be confident as you head into the next phase of your life, which is very loving and happy, and you have a great soul connection there. So I hope this resonated. If you have any additional questions, or if you want to dive deeper on a different topic, use the link in my bio to book a personal reading. Thanks. Bye.